Why I got beaten by my prod? Now my intro! Anyways, hello everybody, welcome to the Aurora Overwatch Clash Season 3 Grand Finals between the Stone Hedgehogs and the Baked Ballers. I am joined here by Fish, Phroodles, and the Spam Master himself, Typhoon. Hello everyone.
What's up?
Yo.
Hello, my friend One Punch Man is not here.
That's what they want you to think, but he's actually here. He is actually just hiding, just off screen. You can smell him. Smells like cinnamon. Anyways, are we excited for this game? I'm pretty excited.
I'm very excited.
I'm incredibly excited.
I'm ecstatic.
Let's go. There's some energy from Fish. Thank goodness. But it'll be really interesting because the Baked Ballers I've probably one of the worst map differentials of any team in the grand finals. I think they ended with like a +2 map diff.
They did.
Holy.
So it'll be interesting, especially coming in against the Stone Hedgehogs, which struggled in the later end of the season with a meta change, but they came back stronger in this playoffs.
Yeah, I think the meta kind of transitioning to poke helps them. It side on being able to play more long range hit scan stuff. I think that helps them.
Yeah, but both of these teams came in and beat the higher seed opponents, the Baked Ballers beating the Vanillas, and the Stone Hedgehogs beating the Tardigrades, so they both showed up. The Ballers, I believe, coming up with something new with the Bastion comp, and then the Hedgehogs coming in with also something new with the Sigma comp. So we are seeing adaptations from this playoffs. Do you think those are just counter strats for against those teams, or do you think they're gonna stay with these?
I think they're gonna stay with because like it's restricted their strengths. There's no reason to swap, and it's very good in current meta. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Fish. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I would not be surprised if we see a lot of Sigma from both teams. I think Vind played a little bit of Sigma against the Vanillas, so I would not be surprised if we end up in like a Sigma mirror.
I personally think bowlers maybe go something like Doomfist or like Bowl or Diva Winston or something like that, because maybe they kind of felt like Pog is technically dive should work really good against like Hedgehog, so I think that's one other option that bowlers might think, but like I haven't seen a lot, so not sure.
What do you think about this, Phroodles? Who do you think is gonna be stronger with their comp?
I don't know who'll be strong with the what comp. I just know that I'd love to see some Doomfist. That's all I'm saying. I think Doomfist is fun to watch. It's crazy, and you can pull off some like sick stuff with the Doomfist dive.
Doom has been looking pretty good right now. I know he's been really annoying in some of my quick play games recently, but you saw him come out pretty well with the Asian teams in the Overwatch World Cup today. Seeing it as like kind of like a counter comp to the Sigma Rush.
Yeah, Doomfist is definitely like a most viable tank against the current Pog meta, Pog being too strong, and Doomfist is the only tank who can like strive against that. So yeah. I think we're gonna see some Doomfist from the Vind.
Yeah, I do think that if they can't win with the Sigma comp, that is definitely probably their best option coming into this. But
I think another option would be Orisa. I know Orisa's kind of fallen out of meta, but people still play it. If you're really good at Orisa, you can basically kind of replicate the value that a Sigma would get.
The thing is, like, if they go Orisa, Sidon will be free, and I think that will be very painful.
That's true.
Yeah, that will be very painful.
Another interesting thing that happened was the Hanzo from Fastest Light doing a lot in their match against the Vanillas. Do you think that's gonna come out again, or do you think he's gonna go with like a Mei or something, which is more close to what the meta is?
Technically, Hanzo is definitely a good matchup against the pocketed Ashe, so like maybe he just keep the Hanzo or just go Mei, but like Hanzo's existence kind of makes like Ashe not being like freely shoot at like open space, so maybe they will go Hanzo just to like give some pressure, just Hanzo existence pressure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I think Hanzo works for them really well.
Also, I believe we have some Preds. Is that correct, production? If you have those to show up on stream in any form. I will see them come out on a delay, and I will start talking about them when they show up on stream delay.
Wow.
I still don't see anything.
Uh,
There it is. There's one. My Pred. Where is it?
4-0 ballers.
4-0?
Yeah,
4-0?
4-0 for the ballers,
Holy.
man. They got him. Fastest Light's gonna play Hanzo, and he's not gonna miss a shot. And like if he's able to just take all these fights with like a pick advantage, or he's just able to get Sidon's number, which it will be hard. But if he does, the momentum will just completely go in their favor, and I don't think they can change anything. I also think their win over the Valentines is a lot more impressive compared to the win over the Tardigrades, because I suck. But also, like, once again, this can go either way. I just thought Funny 4-0 would be a more comical Pred to make. And then Typhoon's Pred. You can just list them as you make them go live, or just speak them into existence, production. 4-3 for Typhoon for the Hedgehogs. I don't want to be here that long, but that will be pretty hype.
I think it's gonna be a full set, because like both team loves to go full set.
Yeah, that's true.
57% community votes for the Ballers. RiddleDog with the Hedgehogs. Fish with the Hedgehogs. Fish, do you wanna justify your Pred a bit more?
Sure. I think they have the two best players, and I honestly think Kevin's been grinding ranked. Sidon, everyone knows how good Sidon is. I think they just have the two like most, I guess, like experienced players in the game, and I think they're just gonna try to like play meta. And if things start to go wrong, I think I trust them the most to like adapt.
Yeah, that's valid. Go ahead, Typhoon.
Yeah, I was expecting more adaptation and flexibility for bowlers, and I think Hedgehog is more of like having like one really big strength, and like I personally think that bowlers is someone who has to like figure out a way to beat the Hedgehog's puck, in my opinion, with their flexibility, since they have like really good flexibility. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting. But I personally don't expect like huge flexibility or like adaptation from Hedgehog, in my opinion. In my opinion.
And Phroodles, justify your Pred.
Ballers.
Good. Well said. Well said.
Well said.
That's all I'm saying. No, but I don't know. I think it's goofy. I would like to see 7 maps, but 4-2, just because I think that's a good scoreline for you know. I don't know. Maybe Fastest Light just pops off. You know, maybe they lose a couple, and you know, we see some sick Hanzo plays. Maybe Doomfist. Hopefully Doomfist. I want to see Doomfist.
Same. I want to see Doomfist.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting. I do think, overall, the Hedgehogs have been far more consistent compared to the Ballers, but the Ballers' peaks have been so high. Be interested to see how this goes up, but I think, let me check the message I've just been sent. All right, we will stick it here a little bit longer until teams say R. So,
That's the only recipient of a baked ballers 3-0. Their peaks are pretty crazy. When they're on, they're on.
Yeah, and I think we saw a lot of that peak, especially from Fastest Light in their last game against the Valentines, because my goodness, they could not look like they could be stopped. But I want to go back again to Kevin and Sidon. Kevin, I think if we kept around the most improved player, I would say could go to him, because I've seen his growth as a player seems really impressive, specifically in this tank role.
Yeah, I agree. I remember, I think you talking about him at the beginning of the season, and being a little skeptical, and then I think now it's like, there's really no doubt he's definitely like a top, 2-3 tank. So
Yeah, I think it's also the team has just learned about how Kevin wants to be playing these games, and now been able to adapt and keep him up a lot more. Because early in the season, it was really easy to abuse the lack of like synergy this team had, but I think they've really come together with their synergy, and Kevin is just thriving off of that now. And then once again, you have Zainu Baba, the MVP candidate for the Ballers. Lots of improvement. He's mostly a tank main, still console player, but on that main support role. Still, once again, a lot of improvement coming in from him as well.
I personally think Rig requires some tank gen. So like yeah, it's gonna be fast for him to learn Rig than most of others.
The off tank specialist Typhoon on the brig, you know.
Rig is
man, that joke did not land. Oh well.
I think an X factor in this game could be motion. I think he's like the highest SR support in this game by a huge margin. So I think if there were to be like a support diff or somewhat, I think motion could be playing BAP especially right now is super strong. So
yeah, motion Zeno Baba backline is pretty strong currently.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of saw some improvement too. So I think they're very strong backline in this league in general. So, yep.
Yeah,
and then
Lucio is so strong. I think they're just more equipped to play that comp.
A few other people we haven't talked about. We had the RiddleDog. Mostly the season we've seen him as a tracer specialist.
Yeah.
But I think in the last match they picked up a lot of Bastion, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah.
Still that flexibility there. I think he's also been playing some of the quote-unquote flick scan characters as well, with I think Soj and Cass a little bit. But I don't know about that for sure. I've not watched all the Ballers game. And big gift subs from Paninii, two tier 1 subs going to Esrath and Amiro. Man, I've never been subbed to this channel, I just realized. But yeah, and then also on the other counterpart for like the quote-unquote lower SR DPS, you have Yak, the Genji specialist, who has once again been very prolific on flexing off that Genji onto the Bastion this season, which is where a lot of the strengths of the Sunrise Hogs have been found. As soon as they picked up that Bastion, they've looked better and better.
Yeah, contrary to what Flats will tell you, Genji is good and very annoying to play against. So I think Yak is going to stay on that Genji for pretty much until he's forced to swap.
All right.
Genji.
Oh, go ahead, Typhoon.
Yeah, Genji is really good, but at the same time, like if they just sit on the Bastion, then Sidon just need to worry about like getting picked. So like it's also fine in my opinion. Like Bastion will do the tank pressure, so Sidon will be more free.
Yeah, and I think with that, both teams are. So, thank you all for joining us here on the pregame desk. We will be sending over to the casters RiddleDog and BOON1E in just a second, and we'll be waiting in here for your halftime desk show. But yeah, enjoy the game, and we'll see you soon.
And thank you very much for that desk. As always, great analysis on both sides, or I guess all 4 sides. But like both sides here, both sides very close in our Season 3 Grand Finals. The BOON1E Bowl is upon us once again. It has been a long time coming in this season. Both these teams looking to cement their legacies here in the Aurora Overwatch Clash. I'll be BOON1E, and joining me today will be RiddleDog. And Riddle, you know, we saw in the predictions, we saw in the community preds, we saw just kind of build up here, both ups and semifinals. Now both these teams, it's so close. Either team can win this. This is built to be a huge banger of a series. Meta shifts all around. What do you got for me here if we go on our first map?
I mean, both these teams coming off both upset wins against both the #1 seed for the Baked Ballers going against the Valentine Vanillas, as well as the Stone Hedgehogs taking down the Tampa Bay Tardigrades, the seed 2, and both I believe were Map 5 bangers as well. So, and I've talked to a whole bunch of people, as you saw from the Preds. This should be like super close as well. I know you're a believer in the Ballers. Well, I'm a believer in the Hedgehogs personally, but I'm hoping to see a long series. Just let's see if history repeats itself with last season's 3, whereas an 8-map series.
Let's see if we can do that. The last league course of map 3 or series, season 3 gave us a banger. Map 8, me and Fedora on the cast, but I'm back here again, and honestly, I'll be looking forward to it. We'll be going into our first map here shortly. It's going to be Antarctic Peninsula, which is a kind of an interesting map. You can see a lot of things being played here, but we saw both these teams kind of towards the end of the season go over towards that poke, towards that Sigma meta, and it's worked really well for the Stone Hedgehog, especially because they have sight on that high ground, on that Ash with the pocket. But we saw last game against the Vanillas, Fast as Light might not be one to trifle with. Might go in full LeBron James mode here in the playoffs. We'll have to see if he can follow up that fantastic performance we saw from him on the Hanzo last week. But yes, we are going into Antarctica here soon. In terms of the lineups, it's the same we've having all season for both these squads. We do have Kevin side on 7, Flamajembo, and Paige over on to the Stone Hedgehogs. And then we have Vind, Drew Dankst, Fast as Light, Motion, and Zainobaba there for the Big Ballers. Both these teams coming in. Power of Friendship. And if I'm not mistaken, both of these teams might have been like the last 2 people that actually take players in our auction format. I know for sure that Stone Hedgehogs were. You know, we were all making fun of Flambeau the entire draft. They doesn't take anybody up. But now here he is in championship, so we gotta, you know, take our comeuppance on that one. Was taking a while to brew this, and now we're here in Antarctic Peninsula. And yes, we are gonna be seeing a Sigma mirror on both sides. A little bit difference in the DPS and support though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just a lot of these comfort heroes like Paige or Cat on the Stone Hedgehogs able to pocket Sidon, make sure he's able to do as much as he can with this pop-off potential he has on that Sojourn. Just gonna get an amp out of spawn, but you will see as well critically that Fast Light is on the Hamza, which performed absolute miracles last game against those Valentine Vanillas.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. The BOON1E Bowl for Season 3 is upon us. A champion will be crowned within the next 7 maps. We do have Sidon taking a bit of an off angle right now with Cat on that pocket, but right now the Sigma is just poking on back and forth, trying to take down some shields. We do have the Bastion out from 7. Not using that Torp form just yet, still holding on to that.
Oh.
Sidon getting a little bit of work, a little bit of charge on the side here, but we do have Daru Danks trying to shut that down on that flank. But the first headshot goes to Sidon, takes down Fast as Light. The outside number goes down, a recall is forced as well, and now we're going straight on the point. It's going to be the Big Baller trying to do something down one member of their team. Walking the back lane. Do have an immortality field forced out from Motion, but right now the point has yet to flip for either side. Sidon again on the off angle. The Rook Tanks trying to put something down. That does flip here for the Hedgehog so far. And with Motion not having immortality field, Flambeau has that advantage going forward. Right now, Kevin winning.
Ooh.
And there goes the picks, a dynamic duo of Kevin and Sidon. Finding a support line of the Big Ballers. And they are sent packing as a first map victory, or first fight victory, I should say, goes over to the Stone Hedgehogs here in Antarctic Peninsula.
Yeah, and you will see early that fight that Sidon was grouped up with Cat over on that off angle on the point with Kevin, Yak, and Flambeau all stacked on that close angle as well, and the rest of the Ballers, they didn't know where to push. They didn't want to try to push into that group of 3 right there because Yak still had that form up. He was able to hold that, and they didn't want to push up over to Sidon because that allowed them to rotate.
Fast as Light opens it up though, the pick on Sidon, Buddha Revenge from last time. Here comes a Gridic Flux though from Kevin, does lift Fast Light in the sky, but gets immortality for promotion to keep himself alive. The res comes through, however, and Fast Light is exchanged. So, huge flip here. The support's coming in clutch right now for the side Stone Hedgehog. Big Baller trying to move forward here with the help of Motion's window, but Flambeau ready to use that. Cat has a Valkyrie. Key team nice and healthy with those long range beams. Right now, the point is still in favor of Stone Hedgehogs, and really, the Big Ballers are forced to retreat yet again. Still down Fast as Light. They're gonna take this slow.
Yeah, I mean, you take that if you're the Big Ballers, that window for only that Flux and the Valkyrie from the Hedgehogs, where they will have some ults here with that Pulse Bomb coming online.
Pulse Bomb finds nothing but the metallic surface of Antarctic Peninsula from Drew Danks. Vince, though, has a Gridic Flux, lifts him down, does slam down Flamajembo, falls so weak. Flamajembo is very weak, but the beat comes up from Zainobaba. They do find Flambeau. The window is still up and ready to use. A lot of exchange coming through here, but the Ballers with multiple kills in the kill feed. Sidon trying to come pull up a miracle with the overclock. Maybe it's possible. It's Vind against Kevin. They're shield dancing right now. And finally goes down. Vind will win that out, but it is last fight territory for Stone Hedgehogs. Very close being clutched out there by that duo.
Yeah, I mean, one fight territory right now for the Stone Hedgehogs, and they will come up on that Bastion and Sigma, which is a completely deadly duo right there. So it's got to be up to Motion, really, to protect the rest of the team with that lamp if they play split, because Zainababa decided to use that beat aggressively last fight as well. And Sidon, he really wants to keep forcing this off angle and putting pressure on them.
They use the Bastion ult first, and no combo comes out with it. They don't even force the Immortality Field. They do get motion, though, so they don't need Immortality Field force. They, in fact, force a life out. And that's, I mean, Kevin follows up with their Gravitic Flux flying too. And the Stone Hedgehogs look like they've got this in the bag. Drew Danks, 1 HP, make that 0 as Yak finds the skull. And Zainababa, the MVP candidate, can't do much in this fight of 5 opposing members from Stone Hedgehogs. And Stone Hedgehogs will take our first point of Antarctic in a fairly dominant fashion, might I say.
Yeah, I mean, some fights going the way of the Baked Ballers there, but like I was saying before, it's just mainly that really nice off-angling from and split from the side of the Hedgehogs, where the Ballers, it's like that push and pull where they don't really want to go one way because it's gonna, the rest of the group from the Hedgehogs is just gonna keep pushing the other way, and they're gonna rotate and hard punish them for that. So it's just like they're at this impasse where they don't know what to do, and Sidon's just able to get so much pressure at them, and he's just keeps finding picks on the Sojourn.
And we're gonna have basically a closer mirror here from both their sides, except Sidon and Fast as Light playing the Sojourn and the Hanzo respectively. But other than that, oh, Cat find us switch over back over the Mercy. I don't know. I mean, a bit of a boost out of spawn, but Sidon now has a pretty good angle here as the big ballers continue to move out of this area. But they do have control of the high ground right now, forcing them back here. Vin takes us to space. We do have Fast Light as well in the opposing high ground, pelting in those storm arrows. Did reflect a little bit there on Sidon, but Sidon gets nice and healed up. Fast Light though, opening pick on a flame with Jet for no more Immortality Field. Motion just barely dancing with death right there. We'll get out with the big ballers, seize the advantage and push on forward aggressively. Sidon goes and put a rock from Vind. The quick turnaround on that rock shuts down that flank from Sidon. And a much better start here for the big ballers on this point of Antarctic.
Yeah, and I mean, this point here, it just keeps funneling that team through this side here where there's that outside by coast where there's a mega, and it's almost completely useless every single time, where it's just this point really favors the Baked Ballers and how they want to play. And with this Bastion comp, they really just want to keep stuffing him instead of that Tracer from Drew Danks. So it's a really good spot from them.
Sidon does slide on in and loses the slow orb, so the team can really push you forward. Allows the team to take some space right back in here. Kevin and Vind exchanging shields right now. Fast as Light closest to an ultimate. Sidon falling low but gets healed up by Cat. Both DPS are very low from the side of Stone Hedgehogs, and Vind takes advantage, goes on forward, rocks Kevin out of the eat. He forces an early Immortality as well up from Flambo Jambo. Point presence is there from Stone Hedgehogs though, so we'll put some pressure on. The window comes up for motion, but the point flips.
Ooh.
It's a bit of a slow rotation from Vind. Has a Gravitic Flux, does lift Flambo Jambo only in the sky, but slams them down and they die before he can touch the ground. Yak is on the outflank, but is a one-on-one of the Bastions, and Drew Danks was that one out.
Ooh, the Dragon.
Dragon does get used. It does force Cat to go in an awkward position. She did use the Valk as well. The point did flip, so free 18% or so here from Stone Hedgehogs, but Big Ballers will bring that right back in their favor with a few ultimates being expended there.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate touch there from Vind where he was not able to drop in time just to contest and make sure that flip did not go through, as they should be at 60-70% right now, but they're only at 55. And now with Sidon and this overclock right now, he just hasn't been able to get enough charge to do anything a lot of the time when he slides up, so this could be really dangerous as he's looking to do that with this ult coming online.
Kevin falling so low. Immortality though from Flambo will keep him nice and healthy. Here comes the flux here, as well as the overclock lifts in the sky. But the Baptistes are exchanged, and the beat from Zainababa will keep the team healthy for a couple more seconds. But Yak, with that damage boost and the Terraform, shreds through Drew Danks. I mean, a desperation res, not desperation, but a good res from Cat comes out, brings Flambo back in the fight, but he was not needed for this one, as Kevin and Sidon bring it back. But it is last fight territory right now from the Big Ballers, and no ults to speak of from the Hedgehogs.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that they're coming up on is that window from Flambo Jambo, which could be really big as the Ballers decide to try to push in. And I mean, it's what's that? 3 ults just for the beat as well. That you're in a really good position for the ballers here.
Early turret form out from Yak. Here comes the artillery strike. Forces Kevin in an awkward position. The boot from FedoraMaster is massive. But they do get the res. But they exchange out for Flambo Jambo and Yak, a 2-for-1 trade right now. As the res was there, but Sidon is in a really awkward spot, has to slide away. Cat can't quite land in time. The Mercy's wings are clipped. Sidon is there, but it's a 2-on-1 in the Mega Room. It's a 3-on-1 actually. The whole squad's going after him. And the point will flip. And now, potentially last second touch will come through, but the ults are here for the big ballers.
Yeah, I mean, they just, as long as Vin can get this Flux online, they can use it just to prevent the touch right now, because you will see that Doomfist and that Tracer coming online, as Kevin's so close to getting burned.
Oh, the Dragon comes in the air. Typhoon's really nice for Flambo Jamba, however, but gets taken down as he gets lifted out of its radius. Cat might go for res here with the Valkyrie. She tries to fly around.
Motion
keep
down,
Kevin
support's
healthy.
down.
The DPS exchange the supports. And now, Sidon's there and fast let the Cat will get the res. No! Gets shut down! No supports here! But no supports on either side. But Drew Dankston, Vin will try to do something here. Recall is forced out of Sidon. It's just Drew Danks, but can't go down. It's just Kevin standing. One punch man on the point.
80 HP in a dream. It was unfortunate that fight that the ballers decided to take there because they were so split. You saw motion on the high ground. Zane was completely in, assuming that the rest of the team would try to go to stuff them, but Vin decided to try to pull back and flex whoever was able to get that touch. So, and because of that, the DPS from the Hedgehogs were just able to so easily pick him off and turn the tide of that fight so early.
Vin goes in on the backline here, but Kevin is there for the peel, punches Vin away from his squad. Right now, Zane and Baba only one with the ultimate in the field here for the big ballers.
Oh, the pulse!
Is a big pulse bomb stinks. The Ajax comes through. Sidon with a huge potential hero play. Kevin slams on and has the power punch and shuts him down. Right now, Vin is trying to do anything to bring his team back here, the captain, but it's not going to be nearly enough. There's 4 members standing here for the Stone Hedgehogs, and it looks like that's going to be a map victory for them to start off our series. Zena Baba, a desperation touch here, but Sidon punching him down here with the pulse pistols, takes down the DJ, and that's going to be the Stone Hedgehogs taking our first map, their choice of Antarctica Peninsula, much closer to the second point. But if the whole series is going to be like that, we're in for a long one here, Riddle.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I was saying, it was a lot of the time you would see that the Stone Hedgehogs would just notice these mistakes that the ballers were making, whether they were playing split or they just didn't know which way to push or like how to go about the situation. They were able to just keep punishing him with the same off angle over and over, stuff like that. So, and I mean, take it as you will because that was the Hedgehog's map pick. So we will be going into hybrid here for the ballers. So you might see a turnaround here.
And what hybrid map that will be, we'll find out outside this break. Do not go anywhere. The BOON1E Bowl for Season 3 continues after this. And welcome back, everybody, to the BOON1E Bowl for Season 3 for the Overwatch Clash. between the Stone Hedgehogs and the Big Ballers. We have the Stone Hedgehogs taking our first map of Antarctic Peninsula in a 2-1 or 2-0 fashion, I should say. It felt like a 2-1. It's very close, especially on that second point. But we're going over under a hybrid map, which is going to be King's Row. This is going to be the Big Baller's choice. Do we see some shakeup in the meta here? Do we see more brawl style, maybe Vin and Reinhardt? Or do you think we go back to this kind of Sigma mirror with the Bastion?
I could see the Sigma mirror mainly. I mean, Antarctic Peninsula is known for that rush sort of style, especially on that labs that we did see, where it was in that cave as well. So I would not be surprised, but I wouldn't expect to see the same sort of comps as we did on that icebreaker, the boat, because there's gonna be a lot less off angles here on King's Row. It's just mainly gonna be that high ground where we'll have to see if the big players are able to contest it, especially from that first and third point.
I mean, maybe we can see something like the fastest like Farah, and just kind of pulled it out a couple times during the season, but you don't really want to do that if Sideon's the other team, because your head's going to get clocked off. Bastion, you can say respawn. Going in on to King's Row, we're going to have the Big Ballers on the attack first. Stone Hedgehogs on their defense. Now, King's Row, interesting map, especially with this kind of Sigma poke style. We could be seeing more closer hold than we usually see on King's Row. You know, King's Row usually kind of goes all the way to the end of C, but like you said, with that high ground that DPS can hold, as well as the Sigma being pretty sustainable on point, might be kind of tough to break these defenders.
Yeah, you will see the slide on Ashe here, because he knows that, especially if he's able to stand on this high ground, that he knows if they're going to take so long to rotate, so he's able to keep rotating away as well, compared to Antarctica, where someone was able to come around from an off angle and just sort of be there as well, because there's not as much high ground on that map. So we will see that both Sigma comps coming out though with Baptiste. So it's a very similar look to what we saw before in labs.
I'm very excited to see the side on Ashe. You know, it's kind of his signature hero so far this season. Of course, grade A hit scan on everything he seems to play, but Ashe is that specialty. But moving out here, fastest light going to be on the Widowmaker. We'll see.
Oh,
they're going to stick with that for a little bit here. Put some pressure over on the sideline, perhaps make him not play as out in the open as he potentially would like to. But the low ground Widow playing with a team like a Cassidy goes for that jump shot. Find it on the side on. Cat kind of scared to go for the res here.
And she can't get it.
Oh, she can get it as Yak shuts down. But they lose on a Flambo Jambo. Exchange for another support, but Vind is still walking on forward. Sidon taken down. Vind finding two. Cat forced to run away as fast as she possibly can. Whoops out the Glock. Oh, the Bastion bomb just barely misses. Cat will get out with her life. It looks like Kevin backing out as well. That looks like it will be the Ballers taking our first point. Let's go for a last second touch here with Kevin. Looks like they will. He was isolated though. Shield. And that's a nasty stagger. Especially now in the mortality field. They can walk forward here, Big Ballers, and take this space.
That's disastrous, because Kevin decided to try to go in and contest that point there. They're not going to get that close arch hold, which they would really prefer with that pick of the Bastion, as well as the Sojourn, which you will see Sidon swap onto. Because playing into a Widow is not fun, especially on Ashe, where you sort of want to play a lot of those same sight lines. And with the Radical slide from Sidon, you can be a lot more mobile, as you will see him aggressively slide in as fast as just to force him out.
He went hunting, but the Venom Mine does force Sidon to go just a couple more, rethink it a little bit. Now back with the squad here. We'll be able to get back in that high ground once the cart goes around the corner here. But Kevin will have the Grid Flux first, so a big ultimate ready to use here from the side of the Stone Hedgehogs. Vind has the eat now. Yak is isolated and taken down. Kevin trying to build his Grid Flux, trying to break back for squad. A nice shield to block off that grenade. However, do they hold it here? Goes for it. Lifts him up in the air. It is a three-man. Just barely dodged that rock, but a great play from Kevin. Your time field does come out. Vind close to building his own here. Could look to re-engage with that. Sidon has a good position right now on the high ground and finds fast as light. So right now, it is a 4-on-4. And Sidon has a good position here over the entire squad. The Valkyrie comes up, but Sidon taken down. Kevin trying to push forward here, but Vind retaliates with his own Gravitic Flux. Launches Flambo Jambo in the air, but the healing is too good from Paige. We'll keep Flambo in the fight. The nade not going to land from the Bastion either on a Sidon, so it's a very chaotic fight right now. But as right now, the Hedgehogs are stabilizing.
Yeah, that fight was just so early. It was opened up super early from Fastlight with that window, as well as Motion's almost already got another window after using just the beginning of the last fight. And Same with Kevin. He just used that flux. He's already 75% to another one. They're doing so much damage.
Strike in exchange for overclock, and Sidon finds first blood. It's going to be exchange support for support here. The DPS striking. Sidon is going to get walked down here, and the alley will be taken down. And now both worlds ready here for the big ballers, but ready to recontest here. Yak dives on in onto the mini, but he's alone right now. Kevin couldn't quite get the shield there in time, but Kevin does exchange up for Daru Danks. It's now just a Sigma one-on-one. The lift in the air will get Zaina Baba and slams down into an immortality field. Smartly holds on to that beat. Fast light exchange out for Flambo Gemma. Kevin alone on the staircase. Trying to 1v1 Vind right now. Vind has a shield though, so they cannot get any healing onto their tank player. Kevin taken down. Look at the big ballers. We'll start to move forward here. Yak does have the blade. Do the recontest with it.
Oh, he's looking to recontest, but you will see that because Kevin died so late that they're just not going to go for it. They do not want to waste it and get staggered anymore. I mean, Sidon went so early. He got a really, really nice headshot overclock onto Zaina Baba there early, but the ballers recognized that super overaggression because Sidon knew that he'd be able to do so much with it.
Oh, Yak just rocked out of the sky, but has the deflect there in time. The beat exchange for Zaina Baba, but fast as light through the window will take down Flambo J with a body shot. Little lift in the sky, lifts two members, and off the map!
Oh,
Can't get him off the map! Another reset call in from Yak. Just very unlucky there from Cat. Yak still has this blade, but that's it. It's a hope and a prayer right now from Stone Hedgehogs, as this could be a staggering time bank. I didn't say it, but Kings Row C is where time banks go to die, but perhaps not today.
Perhaps we'll have to see with this blade. I think it's mainly just up on that team to try to touch. No one touched!
Oh, touch! 0 days since the C9. Flip the numbers.
They could have turned that with the blade. They had no else to try to turn it. It was just mainly up to Vind with the rock to shut it down. But, I mean, I guess that works. If you're the ballers, you take that super easy, and that will be really demoralizing for the Hedgehog, so it is swinging over into the ballers' favor now as they're going to be on the defense.
Now, what do you think about the Widowmaker versus the Sojourn? We saw Sidon getting a lot of picks, getting a lot of charge off Vin's shield, but Fast as Light just seemed to get that one pick every fight that seemed to kind of turn in their favor. Is that kind of just, Kevin doesn't have enough shield to block off both the Bastion and the Widowmaker sightlines? Because, I mean, Sidon was doing work. Kevin was also putting a lot of work, just lapping Vind, it seemed, on the rid of Flux, but just the Widowmaker and Fast as Light just getting that necessary pick, it seemed, to turn the fight, despite it being potentially not in the baller's favor all times.
I think it is a lot about Kevin and how he's not able to stop the shield just from breaking so fast with both the Sigma and Bastion, like you're saying. But I also think it's attributed to how Sidon really just wants to play on that Sojourn or the Ashe right away, where he wants to be able to off-angle from Kevin, Flambo, and Yak, sort of, just to create a lot more pressure like you saw on Antarctica a lot there. And Fast just with the threat of the one-shot, it's just so scary. He does not want to try to push in. He's playing a lot more conservative in this map than last fight as well, just because he does not want to die.
And now with the swap here as well, Page onto the Lucio off of that Mercy, so Sidon with no pocket but still has a high ground there. We'll be able to put some pressure on the enemy team. Has some nice charge ready to go and ready to lay it on out. Flaming to share their heads. Fast Light on a flank with Sidon. Snips that out, throws down the slow orb. Right now, Daru Danks flying very low. I mean, the big ballers are very weak, just hiding inside this hotel. But your attack field from Flambo Jebba has been forced. 2 ticks gained, but the ballers use that to go on out. I'm a team Cat isolated. She gets taken down. But Kevin, just shot from Sidon. They do exchange it though, so Lucio for Lucio right now, and Pat Cage will get back faster. No supports here from Stone Hedgehogs, and the flank from the DPS finds 2. And just sadly, once Page went down, that flank kind of came in. It seemed like a bit of panic coming from Stone Hedgehogs, but they have ults, they have spawns coming in here, their advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I was worried about how they were going to get stuffed by the Hedgehogs here as they decided to go with Sidon on that high ground, but the Hedgehogs just played so split that the ballers were able to hard focus on them and just take them down one by one. Realize you will see them still split with this window up from motion.
Early enough from motion, but some pretty good rotation calls coming out there from Stone Hedgehogs. They don't walk into it, they just wait that one out. Lose no members. A nice rock from Kevin as well lands on a bend, and the Gravitic Flux lifts 2 in the air behind and slams on down, but there's
no lamp needed
to follow up on that. Flambo does fall low though, and they keep gaining percentage here. Cat lift in the sky with their Gritted Flux slammed on down, but do exchange it 1-for-1. Fastlight falling very low. Vind on the high ground trying to shut down Sidon. Overclock comes out from Sidon, finds Vind. The opening here from the Stone Hedgehogs, and Sidon finds 2, make it 3!
Oh.
Sidon clutching up there, finding 3, 2 with the overclock, and the point will be garnered here. 4.5 minutes in the time bank, starting to count on down.
Yeah, and it's really just each team punishing the other that's really getting split. You saw that fight that Vind, once Daru Danks died over right by that hotel, Fast as Light was, I believe, battling someone over by that phone booth by point, while Zainu Baba was fighting both Yak and Kevin as well, and Vind was just in the backline motion trying to keep everyone up in between, and they're just slowly able to whittle them down because Motion's not able to keep everyone up.
There you go, through the window, we'll find one. Fast as Light goes on down. Yak still has his blade. Now the beat has been used by Zainu Baba, and Yak uses that as his go button. Ewer Typhoon comes out, slashing in, dashing, trying to get anything done, but cannot take it down in time. Kevin building towards the Gritted Flux, but Drew Danks lays down the artillery strike, forces Cat to run away. She will get there in time. Flambo Jambo jumps into a rock. Was going for Kevin with that one, but Flambo takes one for the squad, one for the team. But Kevin not long for this world, eating for as long as he possibly can, but goes on down. So it's just so close. Yak was 1 slash away from that Immortality going down, potentially getting 3 resets off that blade.
That is absolutely ridiculous. An amazingly timed lamp and placement from Motion here as well. Playing a lot of that Baptiste, especially this season, and we will see some ults come up here, like both Fluxes. As Fastlight is just trying to sanction off the rest of the team, Yak's stuck in this hotel.
It's a huge 5-man Flux! The Immortality comes out as well as the window, but Kevin walks on forward here. But the rock from Vind shuts him down. I believe it kind of counted the window as well, so double damage on that side on though will exchange. So both teams are down. It's very close on either side, could go either way. Side on building up that charge, but Drew Danks with that grenade threw around the corner. Oh, Fast as Light, 1 HP from Sidon's charge, but unable to find that finishing touch. They will have the spawns though. Flambo just getting back. Vind will not get back in time, so some pace, some space, and pace will be guarded here by the Stone Hedgehogs.
Yeah, like you said, a 5-man Flux from Kevin, but because that dragon was still up and still moving across that bookstore, no one was able to really follow up on it. No one was able to break that lamp in time to kill anyone, and with the window from Motion coming up, I mean, it was just perfect. Vind fell, but they did just what they needed to.
Cat 7% away from this beat that could be used to counter up this Gritted Flux from Vind. The shield goes up just in time to block Rappa. A nice window around the corner from Flambo Jambo. As well as the overclock in the high ground from Sidon. The Gritted Flux with the solo on the Sidon, but the beat will be there in time to keep him alive for just one more second.
From Zane.
But goes on down. The exchange here from Zane's on the beat. They're going to walk forward here, finding the picks, finding the final blows here, the big ballers. Kevin trying to shield dance as well as he can. He's doing a great job, but there's just too many angles for the big ballers to take. But honestly, you will take that if you are the Stone Hedgehogs, because you're walking in here with your own Gritted Flux that they hadn't used beat themselves.
Exactly. I mean, you can really tell that they're changing up their game plan right now. That the ballers are just perma looking at slide on the solo Flux as well, and Zane just using that beat to make sure to counteract Cat's beat, and that Sidon wasn't able to get anyone once he got slammed down from that overclock. You will see that he knows that he's getting pressured out so hard on these off angles, so he just whips over to the Bastion to put more pressure on the Vind.
The window comes out as well as Rappa. 4-man aiming from Page will keep them back. They can't really flop on this damage. A great play from the Ana player to swap in the last fight, but just looking for a Flux nade combo. Once that nade comes off cooldown, Prey waiting for Vind's rock here one more time, but here comes Rabbinic Flux. Lifts two in the sky here and slams on down. Zinababa goes on down. Your Typhoon was not able to keep him alive, and now Drew Danks down as well. Kevin opens it up, and Yak falls it up with the dashes, with the resets. Vind very low, but will fall eventually. And with 20 seconds in the time bank, the Stone Hedgehogs will open up Kings Row point B and over onto point C. But with a minute 40 in the time bank, it's going to be tough to finish this, let alone get to overtime.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they will have the Nano online compared to the Dragon Flux, which used in tandem is very scary. As long as the DPS from the ballers are able to break that lamp from Flambo Jambo, then it should just be a super free fight win. And as long as they're able to brawl let us fight along, then it's fine.
Sidon just walked out of Immortality Field just at the wrong time, and the rock lands. He's stuck in the dragon. That was probably not a planned play, but it was a cool one nonetheless. You do get out the dragon, however, for a quick fight. You didn't use anything on your side. If you're a Stone Hedgehogs, you can still do this. You have some coming up.
Yeah, that's a really good fight from the Ballers. With that dragon from Fastlight, he realized that both Kevin and Yak were just like fairly narrowly split off from the rest of his team, and so he just completely punished that, sending the dragon straight through, so they could not back up whatsoever. So it's absolutely massive play from him. They didn't even need to use the Flux.
Cat still holding on to this Nano. Do they put onto the Bastion the Sigma potentially to build that last 20% of their good at Flux? We'll have to see what they go for. Here comes the Flux.
The Nano Bastion.
Lifts up 2 members. Slams one down. But the healing is there for the team as well as the window. Flammable Jambo goes down though. Could not use the Immortality Field. Oh, but big sleep,
The sleep
from Cat. Vin was going in the back on a punish Sidon through the ultimate, but the big sleep from Cat keeps the Bastion alive in this fight. A huge plays from support on the Stone Hedgehogs right now. Kevin is going to be rocked, but Sidon falls to Storm Arrows as fast as light. The beat from Xanababa. Kevin potentially here. The big Flux could turn around. Lifts up one member. Slams on down, dodges the rope, but they can't touch. He was just a little too high off the cart.
barely.
And the Ballers tie the series 1-1.
I mean, it's just really playing, each team wanting to play their own style. This map is super hard with off angles for the Hedgehogs, and you did see that even that second point when Sidon was trying to take that so aggressively on top of that subway that the Ballers were like investing so much just to get him off that high ground, make sure that he's not able to do anything. So it's really good adaptation, both heroes as well as the playstyle from the Ballers. So we'll have to see if it's able to carry through to the Hedgehogs map pick on Escort.
Which, like I said, is going to be export, but I think that kind of plays into both these teams' playstyles. You could see, again, another very close map. We'll have to see. As break, do not go anywhere. The BOON1E Bowl for Aurora Overwatch Clash Season 3 continues after this with Escort. Right after this. And welcome back, everybody, to the Aurora Overwatch Clash Season 3 BOON1E Bowl between the Big Ballers and the Stone Hedgehogs. We got ourselves a tied series here at 1-1 going to map 3. It is going to be Escort, and it's going to be Route 66. So, Riddle, we've seen both these teams kind of come out here, play their own styles. One team adapting their own map 2 to a tough map loss. Do we see the Hedgehogs do the same thing? And if so, what do you think that adjustment is?
I could definitely see that, and I'm not exactly sure what they have to do. I'm pretty sure that Kevin just needs to try to force the issue a lot more of the time, because you can tell the ballers are looking at Sidon a lot, like a lot of time, and you will see that the support line is just trying to invest so much into Sidon as well. You saw the Nano come out on him, Bastion. You saw the window just to keep him up, make sure he also did more damage, but it's just not enough because of how much the ballers are putting pressure on him as well as the supports, that it's hard for everyone to do that. So if they're able to like sort of redistribute where their resources are or everything, and just how they want to try to attack, or should I say defend in this case right now, the ballers, we're gonna have to try to see them focus more onto the rest of the team, because they're not going to stop looking at Sidon anytime soon, I don't think.
And I mean, we saw Kevin was actually doing a pretty good job. He was taking a lot of space for the squad. He was doing a lot of damage. He was building up these fluxes really fast compared to Vind, but it was just sadly they'd come in positions where the ballers kind of played the game of, we're not going to counter you with an ultimate, we're going to counter you with their positioning with a very flux. Because Kevin would lift, maybe 3 to 5 people every flux, but the ballers just hit around the corner, or were just used utility to not allow the Stone Hedgehogs to push forward into that, to deal damage into that flux. So Kevin was landing them. There wasn't the fault they really needed to get those kills to finish those final blows. And now you look at it, same kind of setup we had on their defense for the Stone Hedgehogs on King's Row, with Sidon on that Ashe, but a little more open here, a little more room for him to play with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this allows so many different off angles here on Route 66, especially compared to King's Row, that it should be a lot better for the Stone Hedgehogs with how they want to play, where it doesn't look like they want to switch it up too much, as you will see the pocket dash come up from Sidon. But with the Bastion coming back from Yak instead of the Genji, it's going to put a lot more pressure on everyone other than the supports and DPS.
Dynamite just barely going to land, or just barely going to miss there from Sidon. Fastlight is still pushing this cart. Rock from Kevin will force him away. So the big ball is kind of playing for a slow high ground push right now. Vind will eventually move on forward. Kevin taking on Vind in the Sigma one-on-one, but Typhoon out from Flambo Jambo. Rock will land. I mean, as of right now, the cart just slowly moving on forward in motion does have Immortality Field advantage. So Hedgehogs do know this. They're playing a little bit slower right now.
Yeah, I mean they're still just getting cart progress, and everyone except for Vind is just in that tunnel above on that high ground, and with everyone falling so low, I mean, Vin's just getting so much pressure from below, but Zane goes way too aggressive.
Body Dynamite into the headshot there from Sidon, finds 2. Starting to wake up here on this Ashe, make it a 3rd from Sidon. Can he get any more? Fast as light, jumping down a very dangerous territory, and yes, Sidon will punish that. It's gonna be motion just barely getting out with their lives, but Sidon coming up there, big for the team on their defense.
Yeah, and like I was saying, with the just so much spam damage coming out from everyone on the side of the Hedgehogs, whether it be the Sigma, the Ashe Dynamite, or even just the Bastion Suppression Fire and the Grenade, it's really hard for the ballers to try to walk through that upper high ground with the tunnel. They have to like go as a group, as you will see them do right now.
I mean, Kevin is holding them back basically by himself right now. A nice diamond will go in the back line as well, but a huge flux with the rock! Vin had that up before the flux even came out, so it wasn't exactly a counterplay, but it lands nonetheless. And now Kevin is isolated on the low ground. Cat goes in for the heals. Looks like she'll get in time. Yes, Kevin's still alive in the front line. Force on E from Vin. The Valkyrie, but 2 kills quickly. The flux onto the ulting Yak. Slams him on down. Yak still has turret form, and Cat puts some healing in, but it's just not enough. Sidon gets rocked, and Cat trying to keep him alive through this Valkyrie with his healing, but it will eventually run out, and she just slowly falls to the ground. The wings are clipped.
This is disaster.
Very dainty touch, but goes on the ground eventually.
This is disastrous for the Hedgehogs. He was all 5 ults that fight, and Flambo it was a really good window from Flambo. He was able to keep Kevin up for so long, but he decided to rotate onto cart and then under the gas station, which means that Flambo or Cat didn't have LS of him. So he just fell over, and then they're like, okay, we need to invest ults now, or else this fight's gonna be over. And they were just able to sustain and like LOS the bomb and everything too, where it was super well played from the ballers. And now they have 4 ults going at 0.
Sion's in a pretty good spot though right now on top of this gas station, on top of the automotive station, I should say, the bicycle station, motorcycle if you want to say it. But going in for it, Dynamite not quite gonna land. They're just out of the range of the explosion. But the dragon from Fastest Light! And the boot from Zaina, Bob with the follow-up, but the first kill goes to Sidon. Takes down the Hanzo. But look at this flank angle here from the big ballers. Trying to follow it up. The burn will stop Drew Danks from pushing up forward a little too far. Fastest Light blaming their banger. And now it's a 3-on-5. The big ballers are just prolonging their own deaths as Kevin will rock Drew Danks off that high ground and get the kill in motion. And now, really good staggers out here from the Stone Hedgehog, or from the Stone Hedgehogs. I mean, they get Sidon, but they'll probably get rezzed right back up. And he got a couple, about 20 seconds or so up for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good for the ballers. If you decide, yeah, we're just gonna lose this fight, you should not try to look for picks like that just because they have that res. As well as prolonging that fight just pushes them to so many more else. They had none to be in that fight. Now they have practically 3, almost going on 5, with both the DPS on 80, while the ballers themselves only used 1 that fight. So it's gonna be a big alpha here.
It appears the Stone Hedgehogs have noticed. Oh, the rock from midair from Kevin shuts down the Grimmick Flux. No, it's a 3-man Grimmick Flux, but the beat from Zane will get all 3 members in that Grimmick Flux. So now it's a 3-on-2 on the side. Vind walking forward here and into Yak, into Cat. And now look at this. It's a very split fight right now, and neither team getting a real big advantage in it. Kevin gets booted back into the LOS on the Bastion, but has the eat, will keep himself nice and healthy for that. The rock will land as well. Cat gets the res here. Cat putting in some work on this Mercy this fight. The Flame of Jimbo window, but the rock! It can't do anything about that one. Here comes Bob, though, to stop the car from moving forward. Drew Danks shut down as well. Fastest Light cannot join the team. The Bob splitting him up from that. The rock will land on a Kevin, but Yak still getting that damage boost through that turret from Zana. Bob is in deep.
Oh.
But Yak is the one to go down. It's again very chaotic fight right now, and Cat isolated here in front of Vind. The rock is gonna land, but she is alive with like 2 HP. Somehow she gets out of that situation, that sticky situation, but Kevin cannot say the same. Sidon though, on this bridge, on his high ground, finds 2. And now Vind does not have enough shield to stop this. Fastest Light exchange out for Flambo Jambo. Here comes the bash out from Yak. Potentially put some pressure on people in the high ground. Will just shut down the 2 that jump up there. Vind is alone on cart. The rock not gonna land either side on. It's a shooting range. Finding all the members you possibly can and extra damage to build towards that next Bob. And this defense on point B has been staggered. It reminds me of the Saigon Swans. If anybody remembers that one, but not gonna say anything else.
I know. I am very well versed with that team, especially on this point. But our game plan, especially that season, was just this high ground is so defender-sided.
It's a 4-man flux for a 2-man exchange. Immortality Fields will stop both of them from getting any kills. But now Kevin and Vind are in really dangerous situations, but the pick comes through and the dragon on top of it. They don't get the kill on the Mercy, but they do get the kill on the Flame with Jambo. However, Sidon still on this high ground here with the help of Cat. Will be able to put a lot of pressure. Kevin on the back of it as well. Put some pressure, not enough shield to stop the Bash Dash coming on through Cat. With the Valkyrie, the Bob is like here again. He's stuck in a small building, however. Now the cart has moved past his LOS. Motion is gonna get rocked mid-jump. The Fastest Light shuts down Sidon. Cat cannot get the res. They're gonna guard that with their lives. Goes on down. Fastest Light coming alive on the Hanzo. In the last fight, here with Tiny Field. Very sad they're off the corner of the point. And at the last possible second, the big ballers break on through. But that was close.
That was really, really close. Way too close for comfort, especially for the ballers. As well, you take those. You're able to get that point, especially with starting with that nice headshot opened up from Fastest Light as well, and he a really well placed dragon to try to stop that res, but it wasn't able to stop it, but it stopped Flambo, and just able to clean up from there eventually.
And we have Sidon actually going to match the Fastest Light Hanzo here on point C, using that high ground utility to their advantage, jumping from high ground to high ground right up, but the cart has already moved halfway to the point, and Kevin goes down. to a rocket themselves. Flambo Jambo is iced on the Mega right now, as well. Here comes a Bastion. Oh, will shut down Yak and Side on both DPS down here for Stone Hedgehogs. They may get one more touch here if they're lucky. Flambo Jambo is on the semi-truck, but I think they know he's there. Fastest Light jumps on up to take down the back, take down both supports go down. Kevin will get one more touch here. 84% towards that. Gravitic Flux, but rocked out of the eat. And 23 seconds on the time bank remain. And despite how good the defense was for the Stone Hedgehogs on point A and B, the point C much be desired. And it's going to be full cap with time in the bank.
Yeah, it's just a complete snowball there. Just completely, with the Hedgehogs, you see that they're switching up with Sidon on that Hanzo instead of the Ashe as well, because Fazlight playing a one-shot character, Sidon may as well too. It's the same amount of pressure onto each of them as well, so. And it was just opened up from Kevin over. He was just pushed so far up with the rest of his team. Want to play really back with the Baptiste, the Hanzo, the Mercy. I mean, the Bastion was able to go up, but that's about it. And Fast like Darude, they'll notice that he's pushed so far up, and that his supports didn't have a really good angle on him, and they were able to take him down. And it just opened up the whole fight and the field just for everyone to pop off from the ballers.
I was gonna ask you, like, what do you think the advantage here we've seen so far last two maps of this Lucio over the Mercy pick from Zayna, Baba, and Cat, but right now she's going back over on that Ana, which we did see get some pretty decent value on King's Row, and that later half, once it kind of got stalled out, she went to this, get some massive nades, some nice sleeps as well, so this could be the change they need. Do you like the Ana over the Mercy, or even perhaps the Lucio in the situation?
I like I think I like the Ana a little bit more. I mean, the Lucio is really good again, like to help with rotations and rotate really quickly. If the enemy's trying to run on you, you're able to just speed back and keep that distance you have.
The opening log lands there from Sidon, right in the fastest light's cranium. The Hanzo diff asserted here in our first fight. Good start here from Stone Hedgehogs. Now Vind, a little bit isolated here on this high ground, trying to stay alive. Will land the rock onto Kevin, so he probably will get out alive here. The shields are exchanged on the high ground, as well as turret form. So cooldowns here, going back and forth right now. But we Sidon in a really up position here, putting some pressure. But Zayna Baba just goes in the back line in the attack frog and finds Cat. So it's a 4-on-4 right now. But Fastlight and Sidon are trying to come back. Fastlight will return the favor here with that kill. Irritati Field. He's team nice and healthy there. And now Darude is on this high ground with the turret form. Shreds through some health. And now Kevin alone in the gas station. Now I'm gonna get a hot dog for his troubles as Zayna Baba comes up with the second in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, Vin was just over on that off angle, on top of that little incline, and then he just dropped down to point, but because of motion and Zane, they just weren't able to kill him. And it just put so much pressure. You saw Sidon Yak trying to go up to the high ground to pressure him out, but Vin was just still there, as he's just already got his ult because of how much damage he's doing on everyone.
Kevin is close to their own, but will the rock land? Just barely misses, went just under his feet as Kevin shut on down without the eat. And right now, some Hedgehogs forced retreat yet again.
Yeah, I mean,
that window and flux for nothing, so not a terrible fight in any means.
I think that window was really good for motion because of where his position up on that gas station. Fastlight was able to beam down Sidon while he's midair. He's not able to be safe from that flambeau, even if he was able to place it in time. And then Durdanks got a crazy Bastionade from the window out, able to pick someone off too. Just ended the fight right then there.
Sidon will almost get Zayna Baba, will clear the high ground as well. So good Dragon from him right there. Turret form comes on out from the rock from Vin. Oh, but the rock exchange for Kevin, so 2 rocks and 2 ults canceled here for both our teams. Vin is walking forward as well. Now Vin's isolated as Kevin is taking on the entire enemy team by himself. The dragon out. Kevin does fall low, but will stay nice and healthy. Yak exchanges. 1 DPS for 1 DPS. No mercies on either side. Full support ults here for the Stone Hedgehogs as well. They could turn us back here if they need it, but they don't need it so far. The rock will land on the fastest light there on the high ground from Kevin. Vin loses out on that shield. The window comes on out. Cat's on a pretty good spot right now on top of that Mega inside the gas station. Yak does the nade jump up there, but the Nano comes in but he's not really in a spot to carry up with that damage.
Side on
The big
Echo.
ballers are just hiding behind Cart. Vin is kind of alone right now, but Motion's healing big through the window. And now Sidon back on the Echo, needs healing inside the gas station. Fastlight tracks him on down, but two bears already fallen outside as well.
Oh, Cat gets hers.
Cat gets hers, but I don't know if Yak can get the rest of them. It's one fight territory here, and no ult except for Vince Flux to use.
Bro, the ballers are not dying. It's like, you will see so many swaps here. You saw Sidon last fight swapping over to the Echo. A full team swap from that second last fight. They don't know what to do. They were worried about Fastlight, they were worried about Finn, but now they just have to worry about Motion and Zane, because if they aren't putting any pressure on them, then they just won't die.
We do have the swaps over on the Kiriko, on the Moira. Kevin is lifting the sky, but will not survive. Just enough damage to take him down. And 3 picks for the big ballers. It's looking like it might not be done, but Yak, the champion of this team, has 1 ring under his belt. Does get 2. Got both supports, but just sadly wasn't enough as the team has already fallen around him. And the big ballers will take our 3rd map of Route 66 and send themselves to a 2-1 advantage in the series.
Yeah, like, absolute masterclass from the big ballers right now, and that's no feat, especially to the Hedgehogs with the likes of all the players they have: Kevin, Sidon, Yak, Paige, and Flambeau as well. It's a nasty squad, especially with like the pop-up potential. Like you saw Sidon here just getting a 3K. You know, it's just a normal day at the office, like just clocking in. But if that's not happening, then they're not sure what they have to do. Like, they were able to get 1 pick, but the ballers decide to try to pull back and just try to live and bunker up. With Motion and Zane supporting the whole team, the Hedgehogs don't know what to do. So we'll have to see in this next half, going into map 4, if they're able to come up with an answer.
We will have to see. I mean, like you said, the Hedgehog are not playing poor by any means. They're getting their damage, but Motion and Zainababa are just negating all of it. They're playing very well on the support line for big ballers, so Hedgehogs will have to come up with an answer for that. But to come up with an answer, we gotta go to the 4 heads. Let's go on over back to the desk for a halftime show. Don't go anywhere. The game will continue at about a 5-10 minute break, but let's see what desk has to say going into the latter half of our series.
Hello and welcome back. Surely it's correct this time, and my countdown was not a bait. We're back. Yeah. Good series so far. The Hedgehogs dominate map 1, and then the Ballers come back and dominate the other 2. What have you guys been thinking so far this series? Let's start with you, Phroodles.
I think that from map 1, the Hedgehogs look pretty good. On the first point there, but then like the ballers started to like kind of pick up steam going to the end there, and that made Kings Row a pretty like close match. But going to Route 66, I don't really know what happened at the end there with the Hedgehogs, but other than that, it's been a fairly close series so far. So
Yeah, Fish, what do you think the main difference maker is for the Ballers in these last two maps?
Yeah, I think just taking tempo, right? I think, especially on Kings, like they started to really lean into playing Lucia, and we're like, we're just gonna go faster than you. We're gonna take tempo. They swapped obviously to the Bastion. Pretty much ever since they swapped to Bastion after the first point when they played Tracer, like they've looked a lot better. Been able to just kind of push tempo, use their form effectively, and especially on like Root, like they actually started like rotating and making good decisions.
Yeah, because specifically on map 1, it was like such a hard roll by the Hedgehogs. With Darude on the Tracer, not able to find a lot of value, but once he swapped to the Bastion, he can help Vin so much more in the front line, mirroring the Yax Bastion. So Vin can just do what he needs, do it a lot, just dominate. And just a little bit less pressure on Sidon though, but Fast Light is enough to do it. And do my ears deceive me? Typhoon, are you back in the restroom?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, I got one question for you. What do you think the Hedgehogs need to do to fix this momentum shift from the last two maps?
I personally believe like the bowlers just like went the comp that's like definitely like stronger against like the Hedgehogs comp, and I personally think like just putting like some dive unit to like, cause like the problem their weakness, the bowlers comp weakness is like a dive heroes, and like they just did like for example like Hanzo, Bastion, and Lucio and Baptiste, like those heroes are not good against like any like dive character specifically. So like if they just go dive character, it will be so free. And like if they go any sort of dive character, will like enable them much better. And like if they're gonna play Genji, Genji needs some sort of healing. So like maybe invest like a Kiriko or like a Zen or like any like Brig. I personally think Ana would be really hard to like heal Genji through the Sigma. So like I think one of those characters would be pretty nice, even though Brig is bad against those comp. Like Brig can enable the Genji, so I think those or a Lifeweaver. I know they play Lifeweaver, so.
Yeah, at the start of the season, they did a lot of Lifeweaver Mercy with Cat onto that Mercy and Flambeau on the Weaver. Would be interesting to see them come back to that. What do you think about that, Phroodles?
I think that would be pretty good actually. If Flambeau can play the Weaver well in this series, I think that could potentially like really flip the series on its head, as long as they keep playing to their strengths, and they have like a solid game plan.
Yeah. But on the other side, Fish, this question can be for you. What do you think the Ballers need to keep doing, or even if there's anything else they can change to make it even a more decisive win in their favor? What is there anything that they can do more?
I think this map is literally gonna be about like I've talked about tempo already, but I'm talking about it again because this map is gonna be all about tempo. Because I've played against the Hedgehogs on this map. They run Ash Mercy and they fucking
Next
sit
map
back.
is Esperanza, by the way, chat.
Yeah, they're gonna play Ash Mercy and they're gonna set him on high ground and they're basically gonna say walk into us. We're just gonna sit here. So I think it's gonna be up to the Ballers to be able to like walk into this and be able to sustain through it.
Yeah. Do you expect any swaps from the Ballers for this map? Anyone?
I think no, I don't think so. I think they've really found what works for them. I think maybe halfway through the map I could see them getting off Bastion if they're not able to like get in, but I would assume they're gonna play. They've been playing.
Yeah, another one of the interesting things about this comp that the Ballers are running, they've only started playing this comp since the playoffs started, so they played this comp for one match. Similar with the Hedgehogs, I believe Kevin's only been playing the Sigma in this league, at least, since their game against the Tardigrades, which was like last week. So it's very interesting to see both these teams with relatively new comps come in and show that they're really good at these comps. It just shows the tier and quality of these players.
The Hedgehogs were playing a lot of Queen before, and I actually wouldn't hate it. I don't know about this. I know they have kind of an identity on this point already, so I doubt they pull it out here. But if it goes poorly again, I could really see them maybe pivoting to like a Queen, like Lucio Curie comp, and them really play Genji and have Sidon play Soj or something, and then really just commit onto the Bastion, and just being like, we're gonna int onto Bastion and see what happens.
Yeah. When I dabble in the Bastion a lot of times when I play Bastion against Queen specifically, the spread of Bastion's like usually really annoying because Queen's just a little bit too squinty sometimes for that Bastion spread. So it's also a very annoying character to play against this Bastion. Any other comments from anyone else on the peanut gallery here?
I mean, I talked about this with you guys, but I'll mention it. I think it's really odd that they swapped off of Ash Mercy on root when it was. I mean, it was going well. Like they were about to hold first, they lose in overtime. They were about to hold second, they lose in overtime because the Bob was missed, and then they swap off of it for third, they lose, and then on attack they don't play it and they lose again. So I think it's very odd that, to me at least, why they got off of Ash Mercy and like ever.
I mean, one of the things is playing a hit scan, like a stationary hit scan like Ash, and even Soj in some cases against a Hanzo is like really annoying because Fastest Light's really looking for those duels. A lot of that, trying to make sure it's a lot of pressure is onto Sidon so he can't get these free angles, all these free peaks. So it's definitely, I do see it. It's like, okay, I might not be always comfortable taking these peaks. Maybe I can get a bit of the spice with the arrow down range and get a headshot. But yeah, I feel like it's still might be a little bit questionable, but I still trust the players and their picks in most of the cases. But yeah. Currently we're just waiting, I think, on the Hedgehogs to say R. So hello, here's a call to action. Sign-ups for next Aurora season. They're out. They're in announcements. Go find them. Go sign up. It's gonna be another season, shorter season. Should be interesting. We're gonna add SR cap to the auction draft. Along with that, we will have we have All Stars, Captain Feedback, and MVP votes. Make sure you get those out. Get those voted. They will be closing tonight. Signups will not be closing. Signups will be closing on the 10th of November. So make sure you get that in. Lots of interesting changes. A early version of the rulebook is also out. If you don't know where that is, it's in announcements. If you can't find it in announcements, just DM me on Discord. I'll be like, here it is. Congratulations. But yeah, should be interesting. Hope to see a lot of returning people sign up, maybe some new people as well. Because keep in mind, Sutter and Kevin are rookies as well. Same thing with Motion, Fastest Light, and Darude. So many rookies in this grand final as well. And I just got DM'd. I just got DM'd by Vin. He said Zumba. Zuba. I'm scared.
I think I'm looking at Yak to be the difference maker for the rest of this game. I really don't want him to play Bastion, I'm gonna be honest. I really think if he plays Genji and is able to put pressure on Fastest Light and Darude, I think could be the difference maker.
The thing is, like,
But
Genji need like some sort of healing, and like their support lineup currently not able to huff the Genji, and maybe that kind of made Yak feel like it's hard to play Genji into that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So I personally think like they need to just invest in one support to help make that work. Even though Sidon is their carry, I think like Yag is worst in best tweening.
Fish, I have a message for you from Vind.
Message.
He says stop yapping.
What
Yes,
is
sir.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
what
Vin's
is-
so
what is-
toxic.
What is yapping?
It means talking.
Wow, that's
It's
I
like
think
it's like onomatopoeia for talking, like yap 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 yap. It's just talk.
I think that's too much. That's a little
But
too much.
we do have both teams right now, so I don't know if you'll be seeing us post game, but you might. So we'll be sending you back to the casters as both teams are. Thank you for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of the series.
And welcome back, everybody, to the BOON1E Bowl for Overwatch Clash Season 3 between the Stone Hedgehogs and the Big Ballers. Right now, it's a very close series. It's 2-1 in the scoreline, but honestly, could go either way. We'll see what adaptations are made at halftime between both these teams. You know, we heard our Desk give their insights, give their thoughts, and don't worry, Desk, we'll see you one more time after the series is over, so you're not done just yet. We're sticking around that VC for a couple more hours. Who knows how long we'll be here, but... Going into our fourth map is going to be Push, and it's going to be Esperanza. And kind of like Fish said, we could be seeing an Ashe here, but do we see Yak make any swaps? Because, you know, Yak, a great player in his own right, but the Bastion is kind of struggling right now because there's just not enough resources. So do we go more into the Yak Genji, which is, of course, his specialty?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of right now what they just need to do is play their comfort comps as well. Like Yak, especially known for that Genji, slide on that Ashe. I'm not exactly sure what Kevin's hero is, his comfort hero, but we might see an Alara heal. I'd be surprised to see it. I'm pretty sure Cass just messing with the pylon, but like with especially how much Motion and Zane are able to like keep everyone alive once they decide to back up a little bit. It's gonna be really difficult with this Bastion because it's just gonna be the same thing as last map you'd expect as well. So
I mean, Motion and Zane are having like the quietest carry you've ever seen. Like the ballers, like you said, just don't die. Like it's tough to win when the opposing team just cannot fall, and that's thanks to the support line of Motion and Zane so far. But Sidon back on the Ashe with the Mercy Pocket here from Cat. Does force out an early eat from Vind. Still burning up, but allows Motion to get a little bit closer to that window, but Flamo Jembo outdoing it, in fact. Right now, both teams playing this pretty slowly. A damage boosted turret form comes on out from Yak. The rock just barely gonna miss there from Kevin. The eat for the recontest. Does force out an immortality field. He's taken down. Flamo Jembo gets rocked and cannot get back to the safety of the squad by the time that field gets taken down. And the 0.73 meter lead that the Stone Hedgehogs have built will go away as the first fight goes the way of the Big Ballers.
Yeah, it's a perfectly timed flank. Like, you saw that damage boosted Bastion form, and the Ballers wanted to just sort of stabilize and back up around that corner or against that wall, make sure that can't get as much value. And you saw Fastlight, as soon as he got healed up, he wanted to walk around that tower and just wait for his team to get in position, and they side strike. As soon as Vin hit that rock, you see him pop out as well, and so their attention was just completely split, and they didn't know where to look. If Sidon looked one way, the Hans would kill everyone. If they looked the other way, then the rest of the team would walk on them. So it's really difficult right now, as you all see them still trying to off-angle from that Mega Room.
Still have that. The cart has not moved forward, though. Vin falling very low side on, pumping him full of lead. Forced to drop, and now Kevin can take that position on the high ground. Fast as light, gets a bit isolated. Dynamite is going to explode here soon within the Big Ballers. Put some pressure on Motion with the window. Takes down Flambo. The win advantage on the high ground here for the Big Ballers is nice, but your entire field taken down. So potentially turnable here if Kevin lands a big flux. No beat here from Zane so far. Both teams playing very slow.
Found out.
Do not want to make the pull in the mid. They do get Zane though, so this flux could turn it here if Kevin can land on multiple members. They have Bob coming up here as well. The rock.
Oh, there's the rock.
Dodged here. Drew Danks throws down the artillery strike, but the Mega is claimed by Kevin, so no real damage done. The cart continues to move forward here slowly but surely, but the Stone Hedgehogs moving forward here. The Bob will stop the cart reef mover here. Vin is half HP and dodging all the supports, but doesn't matter. Finds the kills. Gets Kevin falling very low on the point as well. Drew Danks shuts someone down. Yak returns with turret form, but a little bit too late as the team has fallen around, and first checkpoint will be garnered here for the Big Ballers.
Yeah, I mean, they were only able to use Bobs. Like, you will have that upside against the window Sig Bastion ults as well, and if they are able to get that early right side, that high ground, they should be able to provide a good off angle, especially from Sidon if he can get there.
The Dragon comes on out, catches Flambo. Your tie field not in time, but they do have the res. Does force out that cooldown by Kevin with the flux, looking to lay it down. Lifts 3 members in the sky. Zinababa does have that beat though, but the overhealth taken down as quickly as it was gained. The cart continues to move as the ults have been expended here for the Stone Hedgehogs. They do create some space for them moving on forward here. Gives Sidon better sight line. Kevin is on point. Getting healed up by motion with another window. Typhoon on top of the post. Lambo Jemma goes down again early. The artillery strike from Yak will close down Vind. And the DPS from the Stone Hedgehogs trying to bring back their team's favorite fast lane. Goes a little too aggressively. But both teams are so close right now. But Yak has the turret form, has the mercy pocket. The cart continues to move forward here. A couple more meters gained. And now motion goes aggressive. Tries to take on Yak. And the mercy pocket the cart still moves. The cart still moves.
He's still alive.
DaruDangst will get out with their lives. The big ballers as well. Kevin solves over onto the Doomfist. Potentially much more pressure over on the fastest lights.
Yeah, absolutely clutch healing from Cat there to save Yak and be able to turn that fight just right at the very end. But it was really just opened up by a nice artillery strike kill on Yak, I believe, onto Vind early on that fight as well. So you will see as well Flammo move over to the Moira from that Baptiste. Probably due to him wanting to come back sooner, as well as Kevin swapping over that Doomfist.
They gotta play this a lot faster now as Yak will fall. Got rocked. Cat flies. A little too close to the sun. Right in the dragon's maw. Taking on down. Kevin now isolated inside a small little room. Does dodge the rock. Is eating for just a little couple more power punches here. Set 80% towards that meteor strike, but cannot get escape.
A full comp swap, pretty much. You will see come out. As well as Yak moving over to the signature Genji like we hoped. This is what they realized right at the end of Route 66 is that their way of playing is not going to work with how the big ballers are able to kite and just stabilize as well and just keep punishing. So they just want to try to get in there as well, but Sidon goes way too early.
Sidon did go in for a flank there, puts some pressure on motion, but the healing was just enough from the left shift. However, Kevin does exchange it for DaruDangst. Here comes a flux from Vin, but it whiffs. No way lands inside, but Fast Light does not care. Finds 2 kills. Both supports are gone for Stone Hedgehogs. Zane gets involved in the kill feed. Yak dashes on in. But it seems to be all for now as the Kurt continues to move forward here. Sidon just gets back to the fight, but just to see his Genji fall. And now more meters gained here for Big Ballers as the Kurt continues to progress.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of just going around that Bastion Sigma as well to try to jump on the Hanzo Lucio BAP, where you'll see them do that as they call, but Kevin dies.
They call, Iwatai Field does get exchanged, but Vin's still on cart with Zena Baba. Now here goes DaruDangst with that artillery strike, forces out the Cole, or forces out the fade from Flambo Jambo. But Flambo is in a really awkward spot right now and gets taken down. Sidon on the flank with Yak. We'll find out DaruDangst to get the Bastion out of the fight, but Vin is still there, very full HP. Had the eat as well. The Rock, not quite gonna find anything. The bait comes up from Zena Baba, but the
Rock
duplicate from Sidon over onto the Sigma. Almost has his Greater Flux, will have it, lifts motion up into the sky, but gets rocked out of it, but expires out just in time anyway. The punch into the sticky mines, well timed. They do use a dragon, but nobody gets caught in Sidon with 2 Sidon. Now looks down, Vin Sidon with the 3rd. Sidon goes on up onto the DaruDangst, gonna get down Yak with the deflect kill. And finally the bleeding will stop as Stone Hedgehogs take it back.
Yeah, that mainly coming off a really, really nice copy from Sidon, able to pick off one of the big ballers like immediately, as well as getting that flux online, forcing the rock from Vin, which does allow Kevin to go in, since they don't have that to punish him. As you'll see, Fast as Light, they're still looking at Sidon, as Sidon knows
the Dragon Blade out from Yak. Kevin punches Vin out of the way, but they just try to isolate Vin. They flux the blade, but doesn't get the kill. And Sidon's already found Fast as Light, and now they're gonna get DaruDangst. So DaruDangst falls so weak. Flambo Jambo and Sidon both on emotion, can't get the healing up in time. Vin on point, trying to do anything with Zena Baba, but just gets battered around as Yak coming alive here on the Genji. You didn't use all the ults here, but you're building the other ones on top of it.
I mean, it's exactly what you hope for. I mean, a blade coming out from Yak, but the flux from Vin to try to stop it. But the real clutch factor of that fight was Cat's feet as well. Sidon was just, I believe, 1v1ing Darude on that high ground. He was falling so low. Everyone on the Hedgehogs were falling so low, but that beat just came in at the exact perfect time that they needed. As well as you see a whole bunch of swaps coming online, 3 of them in fact, for the big ballers with their bunker comp with the Breakcast Orisa.
Another flank coming out there from Sidon. Doesn't put the early pressure on a fastest light, but does have the duplicate here for the re-engage. Vind on point, really by himself as Kevin goes in for the dive. Gonna put the pressure on a motion with a jump. Gets alive just in time, but Vind walking on down. They do use the duplicate over on the back team. Potentially a free window coming in from Sidon if you stay alive. 60% and counting, now 80. The cart, net moving up forward, but space has been gained here from the big ball, or from the Stone Hedgehogs. Vind spinning to win on point, but half HP. Vind is isolated, having to use the fortify, but gets melted. And losing on the Ursa is tragic here, as now the big ballers might have lost opportunity. They were 120 meters above, and now it's one fight territory here for Stone Hedgehogs. If they get these staggers, it could be devastating. How fast as light comes in with 2. And that's going to be the DPS for the big ballers, just barely coming alive for the team in time. But now, with 1 minute remaining, you're starting to sweat a little bit for the big ballers. You might have just flubbed this up.
It's entirely possible, especially with the ults coming online, and Zane doesn't have that big rally to deny the blade either from Yak, and the Hedgehog just barely lost that fight right at the end because Darude still had that Bastion form up online, and they decided to still just jump in. They did not respect it at all, and
Sidon is alone, trying to 1v1 fast life fall solo will get the better of him. Sidon with the Folksy beam. The slam though from Kevin on top of the blade. Your Typhoon is gone. Xenobaba so close to the beat. So close to the blade. Goes on Yak. Finds one. But such an even fight. But right now the big ball's coming on top of his Sidon. Trying to work miracles here with the Folksy beam. Can't get the last second touch in motion. Trying 1v1 Sidon, but will take the win with the melee kill. And despite their heroics there from the Stone Hedgehogs in the last couple seconds, it looks like it will be the way of the big ballers. And we're going over towards match point. A 3-1 scoreline seems inevitable at this point as overtime dwindles away. As the big ballers are now at match point in our grand finals.
Exactly. I mean, Yak really just needed to find something with the blade. He was able to find Zane eventually, but just the healing from motion as well. He was able to keep them up for so long, where he had to commit so many slices just to kill the Brigitte as well, and he wasn't even able to kill that Bastion right at the end with the regenerative burst as well as the normal healing from him. So, and just with some absolutely stellar swaps from the ballers, able to work around that sort of dive style from the Hedgehogs as they decide to test some other stuff. It's not looking good if you're a Hedgehogs fan right now.
I mean, the Hedgehogs seem to have kind of an answer coming out there at halftime, though. Once they got down, they did get down quite a bit, but made those swaps over, and it was one fight territory for them to take the map back in their favor. But the big ballers, they just had that advantage here on push. If you get those first 100 meters, it's almost impossible for the other team to come back from that. I believe early in the season, though, the Hedgehogs did have an over 100-meter comeback, so I wasn't down them at any point during that map. But we have to see is now currently match point here for the big ballers. They are one map away from taking home the Ryan Boondorf Trophy. Will they do it, or will the Hedgehogs make the comeback? Don't go anywhere. The Booty Book continues after this break. Welcome back, everybody. A quick break, a quick turnaround, and that's exactly what the Hedgehogs need here to bring it back. It is currently 3-1 in favor of the big ballers here in our BOON1E Bowl in our Aurora Overwatch class Season 3 Grand Finals. The Hedgehogs seem to come and answer and potentially go over onto their map pick. It's going to be Ilios. We did see the Hedgehogs take home our map 1 in the series, which is also a Koth map. So This could be kind of the turning point here in their series. This is a comfortable map type for them. They won 2-0 last time. They kind of had some adjustments there, so we could be seeing ourselves going to a map 6. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, they did have that swap over onto that sort of dive style, which is a far cry from their previous sort of poke style with that side on with a Mercy Pocket, Baptiste, sort of Bash and Sigma as well, where they're really just trying to ignore Vind and Darude. So they're trying to wait out the cooldowns from especially Darude with that Bastion form, and then try to go in around them to try to catch off Motion, Fastlight, or Zane. And they were able to do it really well, especially once they first swapped onto that in Esperanza, but the Ballers just had an answer with almost fully swapping their comp. So we'll have to see if the Hedgehogs are able to start the reverse sweep right now, because like you said, they were able to take this map type before in map 1, so it's do or die right now, and their season is on the line.
Do or die seems on the line, and they are pulling out something completely new here in this series. The Wife Weeva has made an appearance here from Flambeau Jambo, and Cat on to the Kiriko. So huge changes here for the Stone Hedgehogs. They gotta make huge changes, gotta make these swaps. But Kevin on Doomfist was putting in a lot of work on the last map, so I'd not be surprised to see him repeat that kind of performance here on Ilios. Side on over onto the Tracer, one of his lesser known characters potentially this season, but still probably gonna be putting in a lot of work. But this player and Yak on the dive could be deadly.
Yeah, they're just waiting to go on.
Right now, Kevin goes in for that slam. Sorry to cut you off, but the fight has again reopened. Onto the point is now just a tank off there. Kevin goes on in trying to isolate Darude Danks. They will do that. Force out early mortality field. Kevin goes on down, but Motion's very weak. Yak will finance that up. So it's a very close battle right now. The Stone Hedgehogs are on point, claim this point for themselves. Vind gets the last second touch, will not lose it like last time. The Life Weeva jumps up into the sky on top of the pedal, and Yak, both supports are gone here for the Big Ballers. And now the health pool you have is a health you had to work with. Vind is 1v5 in the point, and it does not last very long. As the isolation strategy onto Darude Danks, and Motion sees it working out wonders so far for Stone Hedgehogs.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the exact type of game plan that they need. They know that Motion and Zane is keeping everyone alive, and all those players have pop-off potential on the Ballers as well, so they really just need to try to get on them and put as much pressure as they can because of how safe people like Motion and Zane's playing. They're not getting picked off as much from this poke, so they need to get in there right now. As the stick comes out on the Zane.
The stick does force on Immortality Field. There's a nice flick around that corner there from Sidon, but Fast is like the first to find a kill here in the fight. Kevin gets rocked in a really awkward spot. 97% to that meter strike, did not have it in time to get out. And now Fast is light over back on the Hanzo, finds that headshot onto the time-traveling warrior. Looks like that will be a flip here back over for the side of the Big Ballers as the swaps come on through, but just the pulse bomb extended there for the Stone Hedgehogs. Not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge lamp, like you said, from Motion, able to completely stop the effects from that pulse bomb from Sidon, and a really nice shield as well came out from Vind, which split Kevin off from both Cat and Flambeau, so neither of them were able to heal him that whole time, so, and that's just why he died so fast. And they noticed that Fast Light's all by his own lonesome.
Isolated, and the Immortality Field not nearly on time. Here comes the Fluxo.
Oh, the pull!
The pull out of it from Flambeau Jambo. Well played there. The tree, potentially not even necessary on point, but does stabilize the team on point, does secure them the battle. And they're going to flip right back over in one fight. You did get out the Flux, and you only had to use 2 ults to do so.
Yeah, I mean, you will see as well Vin moving over to the Orisa just to try to play that sort of bunker up and eat all the damage and pressure coming out from the Hedgehogs. And just able to shut down that Doomfist, especially with the Fortify as well as the Spears. You will see it come out on Kevin, but they do have a lot of ults to work with, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it work.
Kevin gets on back to Team Vind, trying to fight for this Mega Control right now. A bit alone, but getting plenty of heals from the squad. Here comes a window out from Motion. These have been game-changing so far, but a big punch from Kevin, the punch. Do they get one with the blade here? Yak goes into Immortality Field from Motion, comes out as well as a rally from Zeno Baba. Vind just walks on down to point, finds both supports on that Orisa. Yak gets his, but won't be enough. But it is one fight territory now for Stone Hedgehogs, and Sidon's going spawn camping.
Yeah, that. Oh, Fastlight knows though. As well, that's absolutely massive that they're able to figure that out. But it was like
he's
anti-synergy
distracting
from
two members.
Sidon
He's
and Kevin.
distracting two members right now. Sidon
Don't get free cap.
Flight.
Okay.
With the stone arrow, with the storm arrows, we'll find Sidon. Casino Rush on point, on
the
top.
punch.
Through does use that artillery strike, and the pills are coming here for the big ballers. But they did have to use a lot of ults to do that fight, confirm that fight victory. So it's back to neutral game on both sides, except for the tanks.
Yeah, absolutely big plays from the DPS of the big ballers, able to somehow recognize that Sidon was in their own spawn, trying to spawn camp motion, because they know exactly how much motion is able to do with the heals onto Vind, Darude, Danks, everyone here on the big ballers. So right now this is going to be last fight here.
Last fight, and Sidon goes down to a whip shot. Kevin still has his meteor strike though, goes on up into the sky, looks his land on right down in motion, but just jumps out of the way. But Fast Light kind of isolated now.
Vin gets
But
two.
Vin walks on in and finds two, and now just a last remembrance of the Stone Hedgehogs taken away, and now the big ballers are 1 point and a cloth away from claiming the championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such an early pick on Sidon those last two fights. That was absolutely ridiculous. That's disastrous for the Hedgehogs as well. And I don't know, the Hedgehogs just really don't know what to do. It's like they play one way, and then the ballers play it better, sort of, just with the sustain that they have. They're just able to eat and kite perfectly, where the pressure is just like off of them, and they can live, and then they're able to win that fight slowly over that sustain. And then they play that dive, and then they just play this complete anti-dive with the Orisa, Hanzo, even the Brig especially, where it seems like they just have answer for every trick that the Hedgehogs try to pull out.
Speaking of pull, Kevin pulled on right back to the help of the team, but Sidon finds Fast Light early here, so a good start for the DPS of the Hedgehogs, and now the follow-up with the dive with Yak, and Kevin jumping on the top right mortality field takes on down pretty early here. Spear is going to land on the Flambeau, but really nothing follow up on top of that one. 4-5 forced here out from Vind. Will stabilize here on the point, but the point very close to flipping here in Fairstone Hedgehogs. Vind no longer had that fortify. Kevin going aggressive over on the back line. Vind by himself trying to spin, trying to stay for as long as possible. Vind is just 1v5 in the point right now as Kevin poses some pressure over on the back. Sidon very close to building up this duplicate. But again, really neither team finding an advantage here on point so far. Vin, as I say, the point will eventually flip here for Stone Hedgehogs, and Vin gets off for just one more second. And now the ults here. Sidon almost had the duplicate. Probably looking over onto that Orisa. CS has to use that there. The window of promotion, but Zainababa taken down on the flank from Sidon in the cages. Duplicates over on the Bastion, but the window damage might be just too much here. Kevin goes on in, takes him on down. They're trying to get his point in their favor right now, being Stone Hedgehogs. Vind trying to push on for just 1 second, so close to flipping, but not going to get it. And it's going to be a fight victory and a free 30% or so here for the Hedgehogs. A fight continues to move here. Vind falling so low, half HP, has Fortify, but the point flips in time.
Oh.
Can't get it. Zainababa, though, is isolated and taken down. Irritai Field not in time. Yak with the blade. Does find the Irritai Field. Can he find Fastest Light? No, just jumps out of the way.
Oh, the grip.
A nice pull out of that Terror Surge there from Flambeau Jambo. And 7% goes the way of the big ballers, but Hedgehogs finally stabilizing a little bit.
Yeah, especially that first fight, they were just so split. Vin was over in sort of that enemy backline or taking super aggressive space, but Sidon and Yak were providing so much pressure onto the rest of the team that they weren't even able to push out to save them.
Oh, the rally from Zainababa, able to get that stun onto Kevin as he dove on in. And now it appears the big ballers playing this fight out, getting both DPS there is a good start. And it's going to be a point flip for the big ballers. Flambeau Jambo and Cat probably doing a quick reset.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not the worst if you're the Stone Hedgehogs right now, because they use Dragon as well as that rally, which are both absolutely massive ults against this sort of dive comp, especially the rally. And they still have both supportals. They have copy online, so this should be a pretty good fight win for them.
Should be a good fight win as Sidon has gone above enemy lines looking for some sticky mots to put some pressure in. Kevin is there to meet them. The window comes out from motion yet again. Will force Kevin to back off.
Oh, the copy on the Bastion.
Again over on the Bastion, but taken down pretty quickly with the help of that window. The Tree of Life comes out here from Flambo Jambo. Point still in favor of the Big Ballers, as well as Kasuna Rush and the Tree stacked on top of each other. Vin just goes on into the backline, finds Flambo Jambo. Sidon with 2. Finds both supports. They're going to exchange it. It's a very even fight right now, but Vin is still alive. 1 HP will go down. Kevin has a meteor strike if they need it, but I don't think they will. Dives on in. Yak trying to follow Yak into the pit. Could not latch on. That could be a disaster.
Dead.
And now the Storm Rails finds Kevin as well. Yak just couldn't land onto the side of the well. And now it's one fight territory. And only the meteor strike in the bag here for the Stone Hedgehogs.
Yeah, I mean, importantly, that fight, it was just like that first fight, but Sidon, with that copy, he was able to copy the Bastion, but he's taken out so early that he had to back up. They had to invest 3, and that allowed Vin to just try to walk in and pressure out the rest of the team.
Kevin going in deeper. The meteor strike will land on top of him. Has the power punch ready to go. They will get fast as light. Baba counters that punch out from Kevin, but the early pick here for the Stone Hedgehogs. Going back in here, trying to isolate motion here is Kevin. Kevin's putting some work right now. Will be 3ing here. Cat supplying the cards on top, but Vin is isolated. The punch as well. Kevin putting in some work on those Doomfist, and Sidon falls on the damage. And both supporters will do a quick reset, and now both DPS ults ready to go for the Stone Hedgehogs for last fight.
And this will be the last fight, and Kevin, that fight was just able to stuff both the supports on the Bastion so well. That fight, they just couldn't go anywhere. It was just constant slam, punch. Then he blocks, and they just another punch, so you just punch again. But you do have a lot of ults. This Terra Surge Dragon could be absolutely massive and win them the whole series.
Kevin goes in, taken down early. And now it's 2 kills coming in here for the side of the Big Ballers. The blade out from Yak has pulled a Miracle out. The pull from Sidon backs into the enemy team. Sidon's 80% towards the duplicate ultimate, but Vin goes in onto the Life Weaver in the back. The point looks like it's gonna flip in favor of the Big Ballers. This could be it. This could be a championship moment
It's just
here.
Sidon, Kevin.
Sidon trying to do anything here, taken down. The Bastion damage simply too much. And now the Big Ballers, it looks like they will. And like the yeast in the oven, they will rise above the competition. Put in the oven at 425 and set for 16 weeks. And you've got yourself a champion. The Big Ballers have won the BOON1E Bowl and will raise the Ryan Boondorf Trophy. Congratulations to our victors.
Congratulations indeed. I know there were a lot of confusion about where this team would end up placing as well this season. I know that initially they're like, yeah, this team is gonna do really well. It's like a friend team, and if Vind is able to like just sort of corral everyone and bring them up, then they'll do really good. And then they had like a really rocky season where, what was it? They went 9-4 with a map diff of 2. So almost all their series were just super close as well. But it's just, they just turned it up to another level this playoffs right now, able to take down the Valentine Vanillas in a 3-2 fashion, followed up by the Stone Hedgehogs, as you saw here, with 4-1.
Yeah, that kind of they were the team that got in last. I think a team had to lose for them to get that 4C as well going in the playoffs. So we might have not even seen the Big Ballers in the situation had things not gone exactly the way they did. But they walk out of here. They are champions. That's 5 new champions crowned here in our lobby. Nobody is a repeat. A lot of rookies. And Vin and Zane will get their first ring. But one final shout out to the Stone Hedgehogs, of course. Played a hell of a series. It is so close. The 4-1 scoreline does not do this one any justice. But, you know, we usually give the MVP as a caster's vote. I'm going to leave that to the desk today. But, of course, we can give our quick thoughts. For me and Riddle, we both agreed after Route 66 that Motion was going to be our MVP choice. But we'll see if the desk agrees. For me and Riddle on the cast, thank you so much for tuning in and sending us over to the desk for the final thoughts on the season.
How? Huh? Hello and welcome back to the desk. Bike Ballers, they won it. They came in as the 4th seed and they won it because and they are here because they beat the Hedgehogs in their last regular season match. History repeats itself. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a sad day for me. Because we would have been there instead.
Yeah, but Baked Ballers, the great showing from them. I mean, shout out again to the Hedgehogs making it this far as well. But unfortunately, the Baked Ballers just showed up and were able to just take this series 4-1. Before we get to the MVP interview, any comments from anyone else on the desk about what do you think the Ballers did so well that led them to this win?
Anyone want to go?
My desk is dead. Phroodles.
Oh no.
Oh,
Typhoon. One of you guys answer.
I think Typhoon's got a good answer. That's what I think.
No, you answer.
No. You know what?
I'll
yeah.
answer.
All right, fish answer.
All right, I just think they played better as a team. So if I know it's a cop-out answer, but I think every time they were playing a certain comp or playing a map, I felt like they always kind of knew what they wanted to do going into the map. Pretty much ever since they swapped off of Tracer after the first Koth point, they should have won that next Koth point, and they've kind of won. They won the next maps pretty convincingly. They figured out what they wanted to do as a team, and they've the synergy I think was showing.
Yeah, the Ballers really did kind of know what they wanted to play going into each map. Whereas the Hedgehogs really switched it up midway through, trying out like different comps and different strategies that they weren't using in the maps they won. Yeah.
I personally think the Hedgehog just overcorrected to solve the problem they have. Like they could have like put some people on their strength still and then put like some counter pick to like just pressure them down, but like they all swap to the pick that they are not like super comfortable on to counter, and I think that was not a good idea in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there are still moments of glory, especially with Cider on the Echo. Lots of value was being found. Just Kevin able to live a long time with this Doomfist, but it just wasn't enough in the end. With the counter swaps from Vin going on to this Arisa specifically, able to do a lot in that backline. While Kevin was living, there wasn't consistent picks every single fight, and the war of attrition just went in favor of the Ballers. But unless anyone else has anything left to say on the desk, we can go for our MVP.
I know I wanted to say I know I said I want to see Doom, but not like that, man. Not like that.
you wanted to see Vindy Man roll out on the Doom, taking the 1v5,
Exactly.
getting the 5-man punches off the map, just like what you did to Skyser's team in that one scrim.
Oh God.
But yeah, it looks like we will be grabbing our MVP, and we will be seeing if they die when I move them. Where are we? Holy smokes, it didn't glitch. Vindy Man, congratulations on being the Grand Finals MVP.
Wait, what?
Bro.
Are you serious? Why is Zen not here?
Oh, I can grab him.
Yeah, can you please grab him?
Okay, I'll get him.
We're all waiting for Zen to get pulled, and then I see I left the voice chat.
We got Vinny Man and Zainu Baba, but
Let's go Zen.
for the official notes, it goes to Vindy Man, but Zane's here too. Yeah. So, Vindy Man, Zainu Baba, congratulations on winning the grand finals of Aurora Esports Overwatch Clash Season 3.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where's Zen? Zen?
I mean, the desk makes
Let's
bad
go.
calls sometimes. I understand that.
You were on the list, but you also did not 1v2 the backline every fight on the last map.
I'm sorry. I was hearing stream and at the same time. What was the question?
Yeah. It's over. It's over.
Question
over?
was, how did you carry that last fight on Ilios?
So I kind of just like looked at my team, and I saw they're doing jack shit. So I decided I need to pop the ultimate and then just pop off. I said that if I was on tank, I would win. So I realized Big Rally is basically just playing Reinhardt. So as soon as I pop the rally, I'll become Reinhardt and I just win the game, I guess.
Nice. The Reinhardt differential coming in from Zainu Baba.
I guess it was an MTD at that point, yeah.
All right, then. Anyone else on the panel have any questions for these buffoons? I mean, great players.
That's my MVP right there. My grand finals MVP. I'm not gonna say which
Vote
one,
for
but
Zen,
that's him right there.
hurry.
Oh yeah, also don't forget to vote for your MVPs.
Vote for Zen.
All right, so you have to play Arisa, Vindy man.
Yeah, I didn't want
classic
to,
character. Oh, okay.
but I had to. They're forcing my hand.
Yeah, they on the second on Esperanza they just decided to do a big comp swap, and they kind of put your team on the back foot. But you're like, I'm just gonna go horse, and then boom, it just came so easily to you, your team.
Yeah, I guess we had to lock in. We almost lost because Fast as Light here was throwing every fight, but luckily Zen is there to pick up the slack where needed. So
Speaking of throwing, what happened map 1? How'd you lose that?
map 1, we always lose map 1. It's
Oh, okay.
just what happens.
Oh.
Nothing we can do about it.
What about you, Zane? What do you think happened map 1? Who do you think is to blame from your team?
So
Don't do it, Zen.
my Baptiste actually missed the lamp on me when I got Tracer pulsed, and I Ajaxed because of that. So I feel like if that didn't happen, we might have been able to turn the fight around.
Zen, you
on
went to the
final
moon for
fight.
that beat. Don't cap.
I did go
Fun
to the moon
fact,
for that
Fun fact,
beat.
Motion actually took a 1v5 in the enemy team spawn the fight
With
before
window.
that.
I
and
mean,
they just ran past.
They
Yeah,
just walked away.
I noticed that.
yeah, that may or may not be my bad.
Matter of fact, can we bring Motion in here? Is that a possibility?
Just bring the whole team in.
All right.
Yeah, might as well bring the whole team in. But we need
Yeah.
we need a question Motion here.
Okay, yeah. I'll grab Motion first. All right, there's Motion. All right, Motion. How dare you miss that lamp on Zeno
I know,
Baba
right? I
map 1?
tried so hard. I was millimeters away.
Zeno Baba is blaming you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Zed.
Also that quirky window in their spawn.
Yeah,
That was hype. I liked it.
I went
That
for
gave me
something.
chills.
It didn't work out. Yeah, I had to try.
All
And
right.
then we all
Wayne.
blame Zen.
All right, Vindy man. Who on your team's gonna be punished?
You know, it was gonna be Zen after the first map. I was already cooking up some ideas, and then he pulled through for these last four, 5 maps, 3 maps. I don't know, but he pulled through for those last maps. So I think he's neutral right now. Maybe a stern slap on the wrist or something.
Okay.
Can we get
It
the
makes
Big
me,
Ballers theme song? Can you play the theme song?
I
Vin
got
makes
you.
me actually duo queue with him, and every time we lose, he makes me do 10 push-ups. So
That's
Oh.
true.
No wonder
Yeah.
you're so strong now.
I'm not strong. I just
Oh,
win.
okay.
So
Well,
I'm so
now
weak.
since we have all the big ballers here, I'm gonna do a countdown, and then once the countdown reaches 0, everyone on the big ballers is gonna shout who they think the match MVP should be. How's that sound?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
good
amazing.
idea.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Zen. Zen.
All right, you heard it here first. Zainu Baba is the unofficial yet unofficial Grand Finals MVP for the Baked Ballers as they take the series against the Stone Hedgehogs 4-1. I almost messed up. I did mess up, but once again, thank you all for tuning in. I have been Fedora Anonymous and FedoraMaster, joined here by Typhoon, Phroodles, and Fish on the desk. And don't forget to sign up and get all your votes in. But yeah, that'll be it for us. Tune in next season.
Wait,
We're-
can I say
oh?
something?
Yeah, go ahead.
We got 3 console players, so that's,
Yeah, That's true.
against a PC. So like, just saying,
Well,
maybe our brains are a little bigger.
some of us were zimming, but I guess yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
What?
all of us.
That's
What?
all of
No,
debatable.
us.
no.
That's
like
debatable.
It's a good
No,
season.
that
We'll
was-
see you
that
guys
was a
next
joke.
season.
Good
Oh,
season.
okay.
Yep.
We probably won't, but it's okay.
Have a good night, everyone.